now it's calling the Zumbrota-Mazeppa OTC Ottertail Central Wrestling meet here at the state tournaments. And, Tom, we take a look at some of these season records. Ottertail Central coming in with an 18-7 record, and you kind of take a look at some of the teams that they went up against. Not necessarily the toughest stretches we saw with Zumbrota-Mazeppa this season, but still 18-7, and they won their section, so you know they're coming in hot right now. What do you think Zumbrota, what do you think ZM needs to do to beat OTC when it comes to the early weights?
I think, well, ZM's got Michael Majers back at 106, who was injured for a portion of the season right after Christmas, I believe he got injured. So that's a huge key, as Michael's ranked second at 106. And, you know, you look at the kids' records at 113, 120, 126. Their records aren't the best, but I've seen all these kids, Jurens, Poland, and Vaith, and they're all very tough wrestlers. They don't give up big bonus points. They're going to wrestle you, and they're just hard to get a win against.
No, definitely. And when you think about those lower weights, that's probably going to be the more exciting portion, as it is with every state tournament, because those kids really give it all. They start flying around. You get to those bigger bodies. It's really, they get tired, it seems like, wear out a little bit more quickly, so pushing and pulling. So it's really going to set the tone probably with some of those lower weights today. When it comes to OTC, we're more than likely going to see Laredo Bugby, 10th grader, 17-7 on the season. And you and I were talking ahead of time. We're not quite sure what the coaches are going to throw out for lineups. We're just given numbers in the program. And it could be, they might decide, hey, let's give Brian a little bit of exposure here, Poser, the 8th grader, because they're hoping to be back at this same moment next year, too.
And Paul kind of talked about it earlier. You know, even the flip of the coin's important, because that sets which team's going to send your wrestlers out first. So if you do want a jockey and OTC has two kids weighed in at 106, they might bump one of them up to 113 or bump one completely out. But you got options if you get that coin flip and kind of get the matchups that you want. But it looks like OTC is going to have to, come out firing at the lower weights, because it comes to 170, 160 actually, and ZM's got every kid up on top pretty much ranked except in one weight where they can shuffle also.
Yeah, Jarrett Hagelin is the 220-pounder for ZM. He's ranked number 1 right now. He's a senior. You definitely don't want to be keeping it. I mean, even if OTC is close, I mean, you know ZM's going to be bringing the thunder, so to speak, with those heavier weights today.
They can bring the hammer anytime after they get to 160. If you're behind or very close, I would say ZM's got a big advantage over every team up here.
Tom, let's talk a little bit about the state wrestling tournament in general. I mean, when people come up here, I arrived at about 7:20 this morning, I want to say. The line was to the door at the XL Energy Center for people just to get in, and you've got fans, seas of color all over the place. It's really exciting, isn't it?
It is. You got 8 mats going. You got 2 different classes kicking off their quarterfinal matches right away, and it's just exciting to see the crowds and the wrestlers come out.
We have a national anthem on the way. We're going to take a 2-minute break, be back with more coverage from the state wrestling tournament. And we're back here with the coverage on KDHL of ZM going up against Ottertail Central here with Tom Weeks. And Tom, we're going to be having our ZM wrestlers of the match. At the conclusion of our broadcast, we'll be selecting the Goodhue County Ada Cougar or Cougars of the match. The Goodhue County ADA is proud of the accomplishments of all Zumbrota-Mazeppa students and provides all of us to get our 3 every day of dairy products. We're seeing them all start to line up here. Not necessarily our match on hand here. Any of the other matches that will be going on stand out at all to you today, Tom?
Yeah, they are introducing all the teams. So you got AAA going on the far mats from where we're talking from, and then down on the close mats right in front of us will be the Cougars and OTC. But you got 8 mats laid out, all the wrestlers, and you can probably hear in the background all the fans.
and it is, and this is the early morning session. I mean, there's different sessions throughout the day, and I know the crowds are just going to grow and grow down here in downtown St. Paul, and you're going to see reds and blues and greens and yellows, and St. Paul kind of turns into wrestling headquarters this time of year.
It really is. It's just exciting seeing all the wrestlers out on the mat, the fans from the towns, and I'm sure a lot of them towns pretty much shut down their main streets and and bring everybody here. It's just good to see the enthusiasm in the crowd.
And you can hear the roar of the crowd for Zembroda Mazeppa Cougars being announced. We've got one more mat to go, and then I think we're going to hit a national anthem. But this is, Tom, I was telling you off the air, I got to do this when I was in high school, and in college I'd come back and watch this. I waited all year for these opportunities. If I wasn't competing, I was watching the competition, and I was hungry to learn. And I think all of the youth in attendance, hopefully they're doing the same thing. How can I get to the state tournament? Maybe not as a team, but as an individual. And all wrestling fans know it's not just a weekend that decides this. This is a whole year worth of training and dedication and getting ready for this one moment.
Yeah, you want to be peaking, obviously, at the state tournament. You know, you got to get here first, so you want to be that last month of the season really focused on getting through your section, knowing who your matchups are, but you put your blood, sweat, and tears into the whole season, and this is what it's all about, and everybody should be just peaking at the right point and just lay it out on the line now. You got nothing to lose.
We've got all the teams out on the mat, which I believe now will be coming up on the national anthem. So we will give it a 2-minute break, come back after that national anthem plays, and we will have ZM Wrestling on KDHL Radio. And if you're listening to us in the car, remember you can download that app and follow all the wrestling action. Back in 2 minutes here on KDHL. We're about to get wrestling underway. We got wrestlers holding their positions at the moment as the colors are being retreated off the mat. Tom, do we have a suspected lineup, do you think, for ZM today? You think we're going to go with Majerus at 106 to kick off the action there?
Yeah, I believe so. They're going to, you got to get by the first round, so you're going to send out, every round you want to advance, obviously, so you're going to send, your studs out, and I think ZM's lineup's been pretty much the same. You have some options, obviously, to wrestle some kids, but I think we'll see Michael Majerus, obviously, at 106.
It's going to be interesting to see here as head coaches of both teams rallying the troops, so to speak, telling them to focus on in. And when you're in this position as a wrestler, everyone has their own way to get ready for a match. And you're out of your comfort zone a little bit. Yeah, you've got weekend tournaments, so you're in maybe unfriendlier confines, but this is something a little bit different. You're not in a gymnasium. You're in the middle of a hockey arena. So seeing how these guys are going to get in that zone and get ready to wrestle, because it is a whole other experience. And I don't think they flipped the coin yet, so we're waiting to see here on that as the officials are conferring here real quickly.
Yeah, every wrestler, what really helps, like ZM team, is they've been here, they've experienced it, they've seen kind of what you have to do to grind through that tournament. And last year, ZM upset the top-rated team to win it all, and they know what it's all about. Now it just comes down to let's get the job done.
We're okay on the Wi-Fi. And Tom, so we're getting ready to get underway here. The Zembroda Mazeppa Cougars, their singlets, white and navy, looking ready to roll here. And we've got the Bulldogs of OTC. They're also, looks like white singlets with black trim around the waist. So it'll be
looks like they almost got a belt around their waist with that.
Actually
the singlet,
it
doesn't it?
With the singlet. So we're getting ready to get under action here. So we have currently, trying to figure, that's got to be Majerus for ZM. And as far as we can tell for OTC, we're just going to have to say it's going to be Laredo Bugby going out there.
Yeah, they used to have numbers that they held up right at Matt's side. Now I believe that they post the wrestlers' names up on the scoreboard, so you can see the team score and the individuals. A company called Track Wrestling kind of took over the brackets and the scoreboard, so I believe that's what they'll be using today at the state high school tournament.
I just like the feel. Sitting here and getting ready to go. I mean, there's a little bit of buzz, electricity in the air. We had, I'm not sure whose fans were over there, but they said that the Vikings skull clap going on just a little bit ago. It's awesome to see half a town sometimes come out and support these kids. And no matter what happens today, Tom, win, lose, draw, They made it to the state tournament. They got to keep their heads high because a lot of them will be returning next year when it comes to both teams. I mean, they've got senior laden right now starters for ZM, but you've got kids under them that are getting this maybe for the first time this year.
Yeah, and, besides the Class A going on this end, you got AAA at the other end. Apple Valley, who's been here for 35 years in a row, got bounced, so they claim that every matchup starting at the quarterfinals all the way through is going to be close in AAA, and AA Casson's going to be the favorite, but Scott West might have something to say, but who knows? Here we go for the Cougars against the Bulldogs here on mat 5. Michael Majerus is out. Can't give you the OTC kid's name yet, but Majerus now on a single leg shot. Going to try to come around the waist and score his 2 points as he's got the OTC wrestler on his hip. Majerus now looks for that first takedown and a 2-0 lead. And he'll be going out against Bugby for the Bulldogs. So referee's going to call a stalemate as neither wrestler is gaining control. Both wrestlers now with that front head tie just kind of circling right in the center of the mat. Looks like Bugby's got a little bit of a size advantage. He's a real tall and thin wrestler. Now Bugby on a shot on Majerus. Majerus is going to kind of just throw his hips back, trying to scoot around behind Bugby and get that first 2 points. Bugby's got the elbow of Majerus tied up, not allowing Majerus to spin behind him, and the referee might call a stalemate here as neither wrestler's in good position. Now Bugby's trying to get the leg of Majerus, but Majerus finally breaks that move and gets behind him for 2. Majerus now riding from the right side of Bugby, breaks him down flat on the mat. And Majerus looks like he wants to lock up an armbar on the near side as he's trying to get that wrist control. It's still 2-0 with 40 seconds left in the first period. They're right on the edge of the circle. Majerus got that deep waist ride now from the right side of Bugby. The 2-0 advantage. Majerus still trying to break him down to the mat as Bugby kind of works his way up to that referee's position. Almost ready to go out of bounds here. As Majerus kind of tugs him back in. Majerus with that deep waist right now, just flattening out the OTC wrestler, riding directly behind him. Referee's going to caution Majerus for stalling as he was directly behind him, not getting out to the side. Bugby will be in that down position now with only 8 seconds left in the first period. Majerus riding from the right side. I think at this point you just want to get out of the period with that 2-0 lead, and Majerus achieves that.
So after one period.
Now Majerus' choice, and he's going to defer. Bugby's going to choose to go in the down position. Both wrestlers now. Bugby wants to go from his feet. Majerus with that 2-0 lead as the referee looks like he's trying to get the scoreboard is at zeros for time, so he wants to get 2 minutes up on the clock before the whistle comes into play. Looks like they're having some clock issues here.
That's the first one of the day, right? We'll probably have that and we'll wrap it all up. But with Bugby wanting to go both up, maybe he's thinking he's going to try to use some of that length to his advantage because he is a little bit taller, but he's got longer arms than Majerus has right now. And we saw it when he went in for, I think he had a single leg. He was trying to get going there, was Bugby.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to dump him almost as that fireman's carry and just use his length, but Majerus rode him for 40 seconds there in the first period, and Bugby really didn't get away from him at that point. So now they got 2-1 up on the scoreboard. I don't think that's correct, but we're going to start the second period with both wrestlers up. Majerus now looks like he wants to push the action a little bit on Bugby. Working over the top of the OTC wrestler. They go out of bounds right in front of the OTC coaches. Still on their feet with only 10 seconds gone in the second period. Majerus now looks like he's really on the attack as he's pushing Bugby out of bounds. Again, as both wrestlers return to the center, referee blows the whistle. Majerus trying to set up that takedown as he taps ahead of Bugby. Bugby now working underneath him. Looks like he wants to dump him with that fireman's carry again. Majers is going to spin behind him. He's got to hook that back ankle for that 2 points. Bugby's still got the elbow of Majers. Now Majers switches that up and gets a cradle on the near side. Looks like he's going to dump him to his back. He's got a minute 20 left in the second period. He's got the cradle locked up on the near side. Now he's just going to try to drive that over. And Bugby finally peels the hands and allows that 2-point takedown. Majers cuts him right away. So it's 4-1 with a minute left in the second period. Both wrestlers up on their feet again. Bugby now working underneath Majers with a shot. Majers hooks that back ankle and is going to get 2 more points. That will make it 6-2 for Majers. Majers is going to cut him loose again. Now it's kind of a takedown clinic. It's 6-3 now. Both wrestlers still up on their feet. We got 30 seconds left now in the second period. Majers up 6-3. Majers with a shot of his own gets that takedown for 2 points. Now he wants to. It looks like he's trying to get that butcher going as he reaches across for that far arm of Bugby. Now he jumps across in front of him, and Majers going for the fall now as he adjusts himself. We got 10 seconds left in the second period. Bugby trying to roll through it. Majers trying to pull that far side shoulder back. Bugby finally gets out to the front, but Majers is going to get some back points. It looks like it will be 11-3 at the end of 2 for Majers.
Tell you what, one decision is easy whenever you have a building project. Go to Pine Island Lumber. They want to be your lumber yard as we come down to the third period. And the decision, once again, both wrestlers are going to be both going up here.
Exactly. Majers' choice in the third period now puts both wrestlers back on his feet as he got, I believe, 3 takedowns in that second period alone. So both wrestlers now. Bugby kind of grabs the wrist of Majers, not allowing him in. Bugby now with a nice shot on Majers. Majers kind of has a good crossface. Majers with a quick shot of his own is going to duck that over for a 2-point takedown, trying to get that butcher move going again for Majers with a minute 30 left. Jumps across to the front of him, trying to get in that pinning combination. Bugby kind of gets his hands underneath him. Majers reaches up for that far wrist now, trying to get Bugby out of position. Majers finally just kind of backs out of it, cuts him loose with a 13-4 lead. Minute 10 left in the third period. Majers is in that domination, trying to get that tech ball. We got a major decision with that 8-point differential. So Ziem's got 4 points up on the team side right now. Majers wants 5 or 6, it looks like. Both wrestlers just tied up with that front head tie now at 50 seconds left in the third period.
At this point, I think you do go for the tech. I think you want those 5 rather than the 4 if you can get it.
Exactly. Good point, John. You just, you want to make sure you get your 4.
Yep.
Got to wrestle a little safer, and it looks like Majers has kind of backed down the action a little bit. As Bugby looks like he's kind of hard to score on with that, added, just kind of underneath, hanging onto the elbow of Majers, not allowing him to spin behind him for a 2-point takedown. Both wrestlers now just in the center of the circle. We only have 15 seconds left in the third period. We got a lot of noise in here.
We do.
Now Bugby with an outside shot. We got 5 seconds left, and Majers is going to kind of dominate the 106-pound match and get a victory at 13-4.
Well-earned victory there. Like I said, that one decision is easy. Whenever you have any sort of building project, head to Pine Island Lumber. They want to be your lumber yard. So it was a victory at 106 pounds for Zembrodem Zempa over Ottertail Central. Coming up right now onto the mat, we're going to have the 113-pound weight class. As we check the scoreboard to see who's checking on in, looks like Bo Juergens and Ben Nady for Ottertail Central coming up here at 113 pounds.
And Nady is the second-ranked wrestler in the state at 113 pounds. And Bo Juergens, a ninth grader, has a 15-11 record. Nady now with a quick takedown on Juergens for a 2-0 lead. We're only 20 seconds into the first period. OTC will obviously be looking for bonus points here, so Now you got Jurens on a shot on Nady. Nady just kind of snaps him down, spins behind him for another takedown. They'll put him up 4-1. Jurens on the bottom now has to try to work his way up. He's in that referee's position. Nady's just going to cut him loose. That'll make it 4-2 with 1:10 left.
That's it. That's an escape 1 point. Here's a pointer for you. Private financial agent Brian Hale can assist you in accomplishing your financial goals.
Both wrestlers now kind of hand fighting in the center of the circle.
Wrestling on mat 5.
Nady now trying to control that head of Jurens. Jurens just kind of backs out of that. Nady now with that Russian tie where you grab the one arm of the ZM wrestler in the up position. Nady trying to just pull him close to him. Jurens doing a good job of just staying in front of Nady, not allowing him in on the legs. Got under 30 seconds in the first period. Nady from OTC is up 4-2. Nady now with an outside shot on Jurens, trying to suck up a single leg. Does a good job of just attacking through it and spinning behind Jurens. That will make it 6-2. And it looks like the first period is going to end at 6-2 for Nady for OTC.
Now you're coming in, Jurens, as a freshman. He's got a 20-12 overall record going up against a 32-1 Nady. With that Russian tie, you want to get back. You want to build a little bit of separation, but it's dangerous at the same time because if you're pushing back against a guy like Nady, he's going to see that and take you down. So it's a difficult road for a freshman to have to work that against a senior.
It really is, and you got the second-rated, kid in the state, so he's got a tough match. But you're right, he did a good job on his feet, not allowing him in, at his own will to get that takedown. Now, Nady started the second period in the up position. Jurens does a good job of standing up, peeling the hands of Nady, gets that escape point. That makes it 6-3 with 1:30 left in the second period. Nady's had a tougher time getting in on Jurens' legs for them takedowns, so Jurens is doing a good job. Jurens with an outside shot of his own, trying to suck up a single leg on Nady. Nady kind of fights that off. Gets a wizard going on Jurens now, trying to control that head, and it looks like Nady's just going to snap him down now and get a 2-point takedown as he spins behind him. That will make it 8-3. Jurens doing a good job on the bottom now, trying to work his way back up to that referee's position. Nady's riding directly behind him, tries to get a single armbar on the right side of Jurens. Jurens gets his arms out in front of him, doing a good job on the bottom. Nady's got an armbar locked up on the left side now, trying to keep Jurens in bounce as they're right on the edge of the circle in front of the OTC coaches. Now, Nady kind of adjusts that. Looks like he's going for that pinning combination. Jurens has got his right hand in front of him. Nady reaches underneath for a wrist now. Now he's going to try to run that armbar from the left side all the way around. Jurens turns his hips, not allowing Nady to turn him to his back. Jurens, now the referee's got a potentially dangerous call with only 16 seconds left in the second period. Jurens is doing a good job of keeping this score at 8-3.
Yeah, not giving up any back points there whatsoever. Keeping himself down, like you said, putting those hips out, making it nice.
Exactly. Doing a good team wrestling job right here with Jurens now with an escape. That will make it 8-4 at the end of the second period. Jurens did a really good job right now.
And, he is doing his job right now because at this point, if the match ends, you're still only giving him 3 points.
Yeah, to the second-ranked wrestlers in the state. So That's team wrestling that we talked about. You don't give up that 6 points, and you can give up 3, maybe 4, but it sure takes its toll as we get in deeper into this team matchups here, especially in the upper weight. Jurens now with an outside shot on Nady. Nady kind of fights that off. Spins behind Jurens now for a 2-point takedown. That'll make it 10-4. Nady's got to look at least for a major decision here as Jurens on the bottom now, just flat to the mat. Nady's riding directly behind him, trying to get some wrist control. Jurens now trying to work his way up to his base. Beatty reaches across, trying to get a 2-on-1 wrist control, trying to get an arm back behind him for an arm bar or a pinning combination. Beatty looks over at the OTC coaches. They're still trying to work that pinning combination here as Jurgens is on the bottom trying to... Now, Nady finally traps the right arm of Jurgens directly behind his waist. Jurgens gets his arms back, though. Gets his way up to his base. Nady's going to cut him loose. That will make it 10-5 with 45 seconds left. He'll need 2 takedowns for a major decision.
Yep.
So Nady now with a quick shot. Now he throws Jurgens right to his back. Jurgens is trying to fight off from his back. He finally does. He rolls through that. Does a good job. Nady gets 2 back points. That will make it a major decision at 12-4. Instead, he cuts Jurgens loose. Score, I believe, is 12-4. It might be 12-5 with the escape. It's 14-6. Is that correct?
Yes.
Nady now with another takedown. That will put him at 16-6. That will... Looks like Nady's just going to ride him out. He'll get the major decision at 113 pounds, but Jurgens did a great job.
Yeah, both wrestlers did a wonderful job. And Jurgens, he's going to look back on this, and I think that's a personal win even for him. Not giving up the 6, not giving up 5, only giving up, so it's 4-4 right now in the team competition for Zimbrota Mazeppa and Ottertail Central. And getting ready to head out onto the mat right now for Ottertail Central sending out.
Now wrestling on mat 7, AAA 132 pounds.
As we look to the scoreboard, Mark Hendricks for Ottertail Central.
Yep, and Johnny Poland for ZM. Poland is a sophomore, 13-13 on the season.
Hendricks coming into today's match, a senior, 32-7 on the year.
Hendricks is a senior for the OTC. We're 30 seconds into the first period. Both wrestlers in the center of the circle. Just kind of circling to their left. Now we got Hendricks with an outside shot on Poland, trying to elevate that single leg, and he does and gets that 2-point takedown for OTC. Hendricks now riding on the right side of the ZM wrestler. Looks like he wants to try to lock up a cradle. Poland does a good job of controlling the wrist of Hendricks on the top there, not allowing him to lock his hands in that cradle position. Hendricks now breaks down Poland right on the far side of the circle, ready to go out of bounds again. They're using the whole mat here, that's for sure. With 44 seconds left, Hendricks from OTC is up 2-0.
Poland here, he's looking to get a stand up, get up quickly here with limited time in the first period.
Exactly. Hendricks now riding from the left side of Poland. Hooks that back leg with his far leg, the inside leg. Just keeping Poland flat to the mat now. Poland now does a nice little sit-out, gets to his feet. I'll make it 2-1. Both wrestlers on their feet now, right in the center of the circle. Hendricks with an outside fireman's carry, trying to get a 2-point takedown. Poland does a great job of fighting that off and returning to his feet. With 5 seconds left, the first period's going to end with Hendricks from OTC up 2-1.
2-1 end of the first period right now. Hendricks of OTC over Poland. I got to say, with Poland, when it comes to him, it was amazing. That first period did not start the way he wanted it to start at all, but he actually kind of reversed the momentum Hendricks might have been getting there, and I think this could be a pretty good period for him if he can keep the pressure going on Hendricks.
Exactly. Hendricks now started the period in the down position. It's 3-1 for Hendricks with that escape. Hendricks now with another shot, single leg shot, does a good job of sweeping through that move and getting a 2-point takedown. That will make it 5-1 for Hendricks. Poland works his way back up to his base right away. Hendricks kind of sweeps the arms and flattens them out. Hendricks now working from the left side of the ZM wrestler, looking for that pinning combination. They're having a hard time getting any type of pinning combination, the OTC wrestlers, on the ZM kids, as Poland does a good job of doing a short little sit-out, peeling the hands, and getting up to his feet again. That makes it 5-2 with just under a minute left in the second period. Hendricks now with that fireman's carry once again for a 2-point takedown. Makes it 7-2. He looks over at his coaches. They say to cut Poland loose. That makes it 7-3.
Tracy, Gilroy, Valentin, Lewis.
With that escape, 1 point, pointer for you. Thriving financial agent Brian Hale could assist you in accomplishing your financial goals. And you're right, I think coaching from ZM must have gone into this reminding all those guys, hey, they like to cradle. Don't be giving up the cradle. Be pulling those hands off.
Exactly. Good team wrestling for the Cougars to start off. When you're looking at the records here, Hendricks has got a big advantage at this weight also. So Poland's doing a great job. It's 7-3. Hendricks almost had a single leg takedown, but they went outside the circle. They're both on their feet with 15 seconds left. It is 7-3 for Hendricks. Poland's doing a good job of just with that front head tie, not allowing Hendricks on a shot. Hendricks with an outside shot. But the second period's going to end with Hendricks up 7-3.
Going into it, looks like Poland's going to be taking the down position. He's going to want to try to get out here quickly because he's got some points he's going to have to make up here.
Yeah, Hendricks now started the third period in the up position. Poland's doing a good job of trying to stand up from that down position.
He can free his head.
Hendricks now still riding from that right side with a deep waist ride. Breaks down Poland. Poland just gets back to his base position. Keeping his hands out in front of him. Not allowing Hendricks to tie up any type of pinning combination on the top. We got a minute 30 left. Still 7-3. Poland's grabbing the wrists of Hendricks from that down position. Poland does a good job now. He's had that short little sit out, and he's able to turn into him and get his escape point. He does a great job from that bottom. That's the third time he's did that. That makes it 7-4. If Poland could get a takedown here, this match will be really interesting. Hendricks now with that outside shot again on Poland. Elevates that single leg to that up position. Brings him down to the mat for a 9-4 lead for OTC. The OTC coaches are telling him, cut him loose. He's going to do that. That makes it 9-5. Hendricks better crank it up from his feet here if he wants to get that major decision as he attacks that single leg again. Poland gets his hips back. Poland's just kind of hanging on here. Hendricks trying to turn the corner for a 2-point takedown, and he does. That makes it 11-5. Wrestlers up on their feet again. It's 11-6 with the escape point. 5-point differential. He needs 2 takedowns, and he's not going to get it. Johnny Poland does a good job. OTC wrestler with an outside shot. Gets 2 points. That makes it 13-6.
Not entirely sure on that last 2 there that was awarded. But he saw it, must have had control. Didn't make a whole lot of a decision. A 13-6 victory. Hendricks score right now 7-4 in favor of OTC. Up next onto the mat, we're going to be wrestling at 126 pounds. We've got the senior for Zembroda Mazepper. And he more than likely, they only have Hayden Hart, so it looks like it will be a sophomore against a senior right now. Hayden Hart for OTC, unless someone moved up. We'll wait to check the official scoreboard here. Let's see who's checking on in. Tom, what have you seen so far from Zambroda Mazeppa? What are you liking what they're doing here?
I've just seen some great team wrestling. They, by looking at the records, Nady being ranked number 2 at 113 pounds. Jerns does a good job of just giving up the major. And at 120, Hendricks, a 30-win kid, gets just a decision against Poland. So you got Mike Vaith coming out for ZM.
Now wrestling in 4,
Aiden Hart for OTC.
Aiden Hart is 23 and 22 on the season. This could be one of them toss-up matches here at 126. Vaith now with the first takedown as we're 25 seconds in. Vaith has got the legs locked in, trying to hang on to Vaith. Vaith is just trying to hang on as he's real high in his ride. He's got Hart's hand out in front of him as he's still got the legs kind of locked in, flattening out Hart to the mat. Hart's trying to slip off the back here as he's up on his feet. Vaith is hanging on with all he can do, not allowing Hart to get that escape. The referee's going to call a stalemate.
It's the right call there. I mean, you were about to get one of those guys up in the air.
It was. They were getting into a position where one of the wrestlers was potentially dangerous, so they broke it.
That 2, Class A 126.
I got Hart from the bottom position, works his way up to his feet. Vaith does a good job of returning him to the mat. Vaith's got that leg locked in on the near side as Hart finally stands up and peels the hands of Vaith and gets that escape. That makes it 2-1 with 45 seconds left in the first period. Vaith is still up. Both wrestlers now with that front collar tie. Vaith trying to work over the top as he's a little bit taller. Vaith attacks hard as they go outside the circle. Did a good job of keeping pressure on him. So got 30 seconds left in the first period. Both wrestlers are up on their feet. Vaith now with some underhooks from his feet, looking for that takedown. Both wrestlers separate from each other. The front head tie from both wrestlers as we only have 10 seconds left in the first period. Vaith is still up 2-1. And the first period is going to end with Vaith up on the scoreboard 2-1.
If I'm Coach Steffen right now, I'm gonna want Vaith on top if he gets the choice and driving hard against Hart.
I think you're exactly right. It looks like Vaith will start the second period in the down position. Quick off the whistle, Vaith is up on his feet, gets an escape point with only 3 seconds gone in the period. That makes it 3-1. If Vaith gets this next takedown, it could really kind of set the tone for this match here. Both wrestlers kind of hand fighting. This next takedown is kind of crucial right here, as hasn't been a lot of scoring with that 3-1 score. We got 1:30 left.
Yeah, that next takedown is definitely going to determine all the momentum we're going to be seeing for this match, because it's going to catapult someone. And I think Vaith is going to be the guy with the next takedown. He seems to be the more aggressive right now at this point in the match.
He really does. Now Vaith with a nice shot, but an underhook by Hart doesn't allow Vaith in on the legs. Both wrestlers still. Vaith is kind of head tapping, trying to set up that takedown on Hart. Hart reaches up for that front head tie. Vaith is just kind of putting pressure into him. Now it looks like Hart's kind of got an underhook on Vaith on that arm. He's got to be careful not to get thrown in that position. Vaith reaches across for a far side wrist, tries to trip the OTC wrestler. They go outside the circle with 36 seconds left. Vaith is 20-5 on the season. One of the first senior to step out on the mat for ZM at 126 pounds. With wrestlers with that front head tie with only 20 seconds left in the second period. Still 3-1 for Faith. He's got to be pretty comfortable with that 3-1 lead right now, doesn't he, John?
Yeah, he's got to be quite comfortable, but he's not so comfortable. When they called it for stepping outside the circle there, you could still see Faith was looking for a 2-point decision as he looked to have both of his feet still inside, but the referee was saying that they had been pushed out. So,
yep, and the second period is going to end with a 3-1 lead for Faith. Hart has his choice, and he chooses to go in the down position to start the third period.
I think this is where I think we're going to see Faith get real aggressive here. Caution, though.
Faith now riding from the left side of the OTC wrestler, grabs that ankle, throws in both legs, trying to flatten him out to the mat. Does a good job of getting Hart flat to the mat as he's got both legs locked in, riding directly behind him, looking for a pinning combination on that top side now. Now he throws a half Nelson in, trying to get Hart to his back. He's got the half Nelson in on the right side. Hart kind of peels the hands out. Hart was able to get up to the referee's position, but Faith flattens him out again. We got Faith working on the top side with the legs locked in. Pretty soon the referee's going to call a stalemate here. So neither wrestler is able to advance in their position.
Faith continuing to work, though.
He is continuing to work real hard on the top side as he's trying to control the arms of Hart. He's got that half Nelson in again on the right side, and the referee won't break it if you're working a pinning combination. Now we got blood time, it looks like. So
when it comes to when we have all of the blood time that we have, we're going to have this. Is it OTC with the blood time?
It looks like it, yep. The OTC Hart is bleeding there from the nose.
We'll take a quick 30-second break here as we've got blood time going on. We'll be back with more state wrestling for Zumbrota Mazeppa right here on KDHL. At state wrestling, Zumbrota Mazeppa and OTC going at it. Hart right now for OTC. He is having some blood time. Looks to be a bloody nose from what we can tell. Mat has been cleaned up. Tom setting up the match right now. It is 3-1 in favor of Faith for ZM.
Faith is still in that up position with 50 seconds left in the third period. Faith throws in that leg on the near side again. He's did a great job in that top position. Throws in the second leg, flattens Hart down. Now trying to turn him with a half Nelson from the far side. He might get some back points here. Faith is, being that taller wrestler, keeps his hands out in front of him. Faith was unable to turn Hart at that point, but we only have 20 seconds left here, and Faith looks like he's in position to definitely get the decision. I would just settle in right here and get this period done, and it looks like he's going to win one of the toss-up matches. This is a big match for ZM at 126. Faith with a 3-1 decision and did a great job of wrestling.
Yeah, excellent for the senior, getting a victory here and helping his team tie everything up. 7-all right now. Zumbrota Mazeppa and Ottertail Central. We're going to be heading into the 132-pound weight class. I'm guessing we're going to see the senior for OTC. He's 38-1 on the year, Nate Hart. More than likely going up against Connor Heitman, but we'll wait till what we see here. Yeah, it is. Connor Heitman is going to be going for ZM, and Ottertail Central's got Nate Hart. Nate Hart, the senior, having himself a fantastic season. And Connor Heitman, also a senior, 10-19 on the year, 132 pounds. Second senior we've seen here for ZM. We had one senior get the victory at Faith. I think this is, record-wise, it might not necessarily indicate how their seasons they'd hope they go, but still you've got senior going on senior, at least 4 years of wrestling experience in high school. I mean, should be pretty good, hopefully evenly matched weight class here for both schools.
They really are, and OTC would obviously look to be the favorite here, as Hart is the third-rated wrestler at 132 pounds going against Heitman. But here's where we talked about bonus points. If you're going to lose, don't give up the big points, and you never know. If you keep it close, you got a chance to beat a wrestler like Hart or even catch him. So both wrestlers are still on their feet with 30 seconds gone in the first period, no score. Heitman now looks like he's got a height advantage here over Hart. Both wrestlers just trying to set up that takedown. Hart now kind of controlling the wrist of Heitman. Heitman backs out of that. Just circling from their feet. Hart now with an outside shot on Heitman. Heitman does a good job with that underhook again from his feet. We're going to go outside the circle. Caution for stalling against Heitman. I don't know if I agree with that one right away, but it is what it is. 55 seconds left in the first period. Heitman now has just got to attempt a couple shots to keep him off from that stalling call here, but Hart now trying to control that outside arm of Heitman. Hart with another shot. Heitman with an outside shot. Hart's going to work over the top of him, spin behind him, and get that first takedown for a 2-0 lead. Hart now riding from the left side of Heitman, breaks him down. Looks like he wants to lock up a cradle. CM wrestlers do a good job of controlling that wrist when you come out in front of them, not allowing you to get that pinning combination you're looking for. Now you got Hart now working a 2-on-1 wrist ride on Heitman, but the first period's going to end with a 2-0 advantage for Hart after one. Looks like Hart will have the decision as Heitman deferred. Hart wants to start this period in the down position. Hart now quick to his feet, peels the hands of Heitman, gets a 1-point escape. That makes it 3-0.
Jeffrey Robinson.
Both wrestlers still up on their feet again.
Kyle Elke, St. Michael.
Hart looks like he has a hard time getting a shot in on Heitman, as Heitman's using his size advantage a little bit to keep some distance with Hart. Both wrestlers are head-to-head there from their feet. Hart now trying to get some control of Heitman. Heitman does a good job of reaching up and controlling the wrist of Hart from their feet, not allowing Hart to get any type of shot in. Hart now trying to work underneath Heitman. Heitman does a good job of just clearing his hips, not allowing him in on the legs. As we got a minute left in the second period, with that 3-0 lead as they go outside the circle with a minute left.
Heitman's got to be careful as he's going toe-to-toe and kind of hand-tying up here with Hart, that he doesn't overextend himself and open himself up for another takedown. So he's got to decrease the distance of kind of where he's leaning there. You can get shucked down, you can get pulled apart, but he's doing a good job against the now 41-1 on the season Hart.
Yeah, he's really looks like he's got a lot of movement from his feet too, so he's not standing still when he's on his feet. He's circling really well and just trying to use that to his advantage. Both wrestlers now with a front head tie. They go outside the circle here with a 3-0 lead still for Hart. Looks like he's getting a little frustrated, the OTC wrestler. But Heitman's doing a great job from his feet as he's got a lot of movement. Hart hasn't really even shot a serious takedown yet on Heitman. So.
No, and every time he goes in, Heitman's doing a good job of keeping him back.
Yeah, both wrestlers still on their feet now as the second period's going to end with that 3-0 lead for Hart. Heitman's going to have the choice to start the third period, and he's going to choose to go down looking for that escape point. If he gets an escape and gets a takedown, it's going to be all tied up, so that's obviously what the ZM wrestler's looking for at this point.
Even the escape for Heitman, and they go back to their feet. So far, what we've seen, Heitman can definitely handle Hart when they're both on their feet on the mat. It's just getting that first move and getting up.
Now you got Hart riding from the right side of Heitman.
Wrestling on mat number 6, 160, Class A. Tracy.
Riding directly behind the CM wrestler. Got that far side leg hook. Now he's got that deep waist drag going. Hart's trying to work any type of pinning combination he can get. Heitman's doing a good job of keeping his hands out in front of him. He was flat on the mat. Now he worked his way back up to his base with a minute 20 left. You got Hart now riding directly behind Heitman. Heitman's in that referee's position. Breaks down the ZM wrestler down flat on the mat. Referee's going to caution Hart for stalling as he's riding directly behind ZM. You got to work out to the side for a pinning combination at that point. So,
well, yeah, Hart wasn't really working towards anything there. He was almost like they were still hand tying while he was behind, and he's got to be pushing forward, driving. So, good call there by the referee.
That's correct. It's a good point, John. Heitman now is flat to the mat. He's got to work up to that referee's position, which he's able to do again. Hart's still riding directly behind him. He could get dinged up for stalling here if he doesn't work out to the side, and he finally does. He's got a deep waist ride on that right side, but he has no pinning combination at all. Heitman's doing a good job on the bottom there. Referee's kind of talking to both wrestlers. I'm not sure he would ding up anybody at this point. Hart now just has got Heitman flat to the mat. Looks like he wants to lock up a pinning combination. Heitman just keeps his hands tight to his body, not allowing Hart to do anything. And Heitman did a great job at this weight class at 132. And Hart, the third-rated wrestler in the state, is going to leave with a 3-0 victory over Heitman.
And right now, I'm just saying we should mark this one down. Heitman might get to be, depending on how this all ends, wrestler of the match there, being able to defend against the 41-1 Hart, giving up only 3 points total in that match. That was huge.
That was huge, and that's a great point, John. We talk about team wrestling, and you just seen it right there.
Coming up here, we got 138 pounds. Spencer DeFrank going to be heading out there for ZM. And then Matt Hendricks looks to be the wrestler for Ottertail Central. DeFrank on the air is 21-18. Hendricks is a sophomore, and he's 500, 18-18 on the year. DeFrank, the senior.
DeFrank is a really good wrestler. He's really dangerous, too, from his feet, as he's got a really good headlock. And just a tough wrestler. Both wrestlers now from their feet, only 10 seconds gone. DeFrank now trying to control that outside arm of Hendricks. Got that front head tie going for both wrestlers. Hendricks now with an outside shot on DeFrank. DeFrank kind of just fights that off. DeFrank with an underhook now. DeFrank's got his hips back. He's just got to try to spin behind the OTC wrestler. There's the head of Hendricks. Looks like DeFrank almost wants to set up a throw here from his feet. Hendricks kind of backs out of that. With a minute 10 left, still no score. Hendricks now with an outside shot. DeFrank underhooks that. He's got double underhooks on facing the OTC wrestler. Now DeFrank trying to just get that control from that up position as both wrestlers are facing each other.
DeFrank here's in really good position. If he is able to bring him down, just slide him right on down, shuck him down to the mat, and almost put a half in at the same time, we could have seen a real quick pinning combination as the referee worked him back to the center.
Exactly. If he could have just snapped him down and he had them underhooks kind of thrown in, he could have thrown him right to his back from that position. But now the referee broke that. DeFrank now still with them underhooks in that up position with 20 seconds left. Hendricks has got to keep his elbows in that position, not allowing him to get that pin. So.
Atwater, Cosmos, Grove City Sky Powers. And for Crazy, Carter Shipman.
They got Hendricks now with that outside shot, but the first period's going to end locked up at 0-0. You hear waves of noise around here, and it kind of distracts you at times. So,
well, and as we've got all 8 mats going on at once, I know over on mat number 6, I think there was a pinfall just a little bit ago. Over on mat 8, we've had a couple of pins, and it's just it hits you, and you're not quite sure if you should be looking somewhere else. Tom Weeks and Paul Shea on the call here on KDHL Radio. 0-0 going into the second, Tom. This is going to be crucial here for Dufresne. He's going to have to get some back points here.
It is. Spencer Dufresne now started that period in the up position. Looks like Hendricks is trying to get the first point scored here as he's got the leg of Dufresne trying to keep him out in front of him. And Hendricks is going to get an escape here, but Dufresne looks like he wants to get a takedown right away as he's kind of draped over the top of the OTC wrestler. 1 point escape's going to be awarded, and the referee breaks that and is going to put him at the center of the circle on their feet. There's been a lot of action for a 1-0 score here, so it looks like the referee's going to have Dufresne adjust his leg brace. Both wrestlers directly in the center of the circle with the front head tie. Still trying to get that decision. Now it looks like Hendricks just works a cradle on Dufresne from their feet, gets a 2-point takedown. That will put him up 3-0. Dufresne does a good job of peeling the hands. Hendricks still got that cradle locked up. Dufresne is able to peel the hands, turn into the OTC wrestler. No points have been awarded for an escape, and Dufresne's going to back out of it and get to his feet for a 1-point escape. Makes it 3-1 with 30 seconds left in the second period. Hendricks from OTC up 3-1.
With that escape, I've got a pointer for you. Thrivent Financial Agent Brian Hale can assist you in accomplishing all your financial goals. Many thanks to Brian Hale at Thrivent Financial.
Dufresne's got that underhook now as looks like Hendricks is trying to get a fireman's carry going. Dufresne does a good job of working over the top of the OTC wrestler. Looks like Dufresne's trying to set up a takedown of his own as he's got, Hendricks has got the wrist control though on Dufresne, not allowing him to spin behind him. It'll be 3-1 for Hendricks at the end of 2.
Carl Moore, St. Michael, Albertville.
Dufresne now is in that down position. Hendricks riding from the left side of Dufresne. Dufresne trying to get in that stand-up position. Needs an escape right here, doesn't he, John?
Yeah, he's got to get up right now, and he's getting close, but you can see the fact that Hendricks from OTC, he's trying to work that cradle yet again, and Dufresne's doing a pretty good job of keeping him back, but it's the one thing he's going to have to worry about here is trying to get cradled up.
You're exactly right. It looks like Hendricks is trying to lock up that cradle no matter what position there is. Now he does have it locked up on Dufresne. He's going to have to bring him all the way back. Dufresne is able to straighten out his legs and break the grip of that cradle. Hendricks now has just kind of got one leg thrown in on the near side. I can't tell if he's out of position at this point, or looks like he's kind of settled in behind him as he's got that leg locked in on the near side. Hendricks wants to throw that leg back in as Dufresne's just kind of turning into him now. Hendricks is real high in his ride here as Dufresne's looking for a reversal here with 55 seconds. Hendricks just kind of reaches back for the leg of Dufresne. Dufresne's trying to suck up a single leg on the bottom now. Referee still has him in that position. Hendricks does a good job of lifting up on that far side ankle, flattening out Dufresne to the mat and staying behind the ZM wrestler with 35 seconds left. Dufresne's really got to work hard now to get that escape, or better yet, a reversal to tie it.
And he was pretty close to that reversal before he got taken down to the mat. Let's see if he's got it in with about 20 seconds remaining here in the third.
You know, it looks like Hendricks is in good position as he's got that far side leg kind of locked up. He's got a hand drape. Referee's going to call a stalemate with 14 seconds. Dufresne has to be explosive off the whistle with the short time on the clock with only 14 seconds left. He's got to try to get that escape and a takedown or else a reversal to tie it. Hendricks does a good job of reaching up for the far side ankle on DeFrang, not allowing the ZM wrestler any points. Now there's a caution. I'm not sure what that was for. He stopped the action with only 6 seconds left.
The only thing I can think is if he had that ankle in a certain way that he was giving him a caution for almost potentially dangerous there.
And Hendricks is going to get the decision at 138 pounds for OTC.
Score right now 13-7 in favor of Ottertail Central Bulldogs over the Zumbrota-Mazeppa Cougars as we set to get ready for the 145-pound weight class.
Zumbrota-Mazeppa is going to send out Luke Tupper, a senior, 19-1 on the season, and Tupper is a very good wrestler at 145 pounds. He's real strong and aggressive.
And coming out there is Nick Garden. Nick Garden, the sophomore, 3-5 listed in the program. Sophomore on the year at 145 pounds. Make sure we've got this right. Nick Garden, 3-5 on the year according to the scoreboard, while Tupper, 24-2. And if you're ZM, I think right now you got to get aggressive and see if you can't get 6.
Yeah, they'll be looking for a big advantage at this weight class, and Tupper's probably one of the guys that can do it, as he's got a lot of energy in his wrestling and really sets the pace in the match.
195-pound AAA.
Looks like they're looking at the scoreboard. Sometimes when they're checking in the wrestlers, they want to make sure that everything's correct before they blow the whistle, and obviously the coaches, know which way they can go with their wrestlers at this point, but they still, I'm not sure what they're looking at on the scoreboard. It looks like the team score is not correct at all, but we know that the team score is 13-7 OTC after 138, so they finally blow the whistle. Tupper now trying to control that with that Russian tie, with that 2-on-1 arm control on that far side. Just drags the OTC wrestler to the side, gets a 2-point takedown, tucks in behind him. Now he's going to cut him loose. It'll be 2-1 with 20 seconds gone in the first period. Tupper really pushing the action here as he looks for that near side takedown, and he gets it. He'll put it at 4-1.
With that takedown for the best newspaper coverage of the Cougars in the state tournament, turn to the pages of the News Record and Zumbro Shopper.
They got Tupper riding on that near side with that front leg lock. He kind of just pulls him right over. He's going to tilt him to his back. Kind of just swept him all the way underneath him. He's going to get 3 back points out of that. That was a nice little tilt by Tupper for a 7-1 lead. Only a minute gone in the first period. Tupper's trying to add to that lead now as he's settled in behind the OTC wrestler. He's going to get another tilt on the near side. And he's going to get some back points here. Doesn't look like he has Garden in position to pin him, but he gets 3 more back points. He's got an armbar locked up on the left side, trying to control the wrist on the right side. Now he's going to jump across to that left side. Now he's got to run that all the way around the front.
He's starting.
There he goes. He's got that armbar locked up. Now switches it up. He's going to reach all the way across and tightens up that pinning combination. He's got a tight pinning hold here on Garden, and it looks like he's going to get the fall as he settles in. Gets the shoulder down, and he gets a fall at 1:49 for the Cougars.
That first pinfall, by the way, of the day today, Zumbrota-Mazeppa's Tupper getting the pinfall at minute 49 into the first period. So minute 49 into the first period, Tupper with that pinfall, and that could be a momentum changer for ZM right now as they've knotted things up at 13 apiece.
That's correct. OTC works hard for a 3-0 and a 3-1 win and gets 16 points. Tupper comes out in one match, gets a fall, and gets 6 points back for the Cougars to make it 13-13.
Heading out there right now at 152 pounds for ZM. I believe that's going to be Sam Nordquist taking on Zane Swanson of Ottertail Central. Swanson 32-13 on the year. Nordquist 35-6. I think we're going to be in for a good battle here.
Yeah, this looks like this should be a good match at 152 pounds. No score yet as Swanson is rated 10th in the state at this weight. 30 seconds in. Now Swanson with an outside shot on Nordquist. Unable to score there. They come back to the center of the circle. Still 0 with 1:10 left. Nordquist trying to control now the hands of Swanson. Swanson trying to shoot that takedown. Nordquist does a good job of throwing his hips back. They return to their feet. Right in the middle of the mat. It's still 0-0.
Now wrestling mat 7, 220-pound AAA.
Swanson now fights off a shot by Nordquist as he gets his hips just shot back. They return to their feet. Kind of trying to get that advantage from their feet as Swanson's trying to lock up the arms of Nordquist. Finally just spins out of that. We got 30 seconds left. Nordquist with a couple head taps on Swanson.
Now wrestling man 4,
looks like we got blood time.
All right, we've got blood time right now. Let's take a 30-second break. By the way, it is 10 o'clock here on KDHL Radio, broadcasting from Faribault, Minnesota, 9:20 a.m. The blood time wrapped up. Tom Weeks and Paul Shea on the call. And Tom, we are seeing what looks to be, is it a cradle right now? What do we got going on here?
Yeah, it looks like Nordquist gets a 2-point takedown there to end the period right after the blood time for a 2-0 lead. Right at them short time points can really add up with that first takedown.
Nordquist on bottom. We're looking to see him get up and be aggressive from both standing here.
Yeah, Swanson now riding from the top, got real high in his ride. It looks like Nordquist is in position to get a reversal. Gets his 1-point escape. That makes it 2-1, or 3-0, excuse me, for Nordquist with that escape point. Swanson's trying to control that Russian tie from their feet as they go outside the circle.
With that escape, that 1 point, a pointer for you. Thriving Financial Agent Brian Hale can assist you in accomplishing your financial goals.
Now you got Nordquist with a nice outside shot. He's got a single leg. He's trying to just elevate that up. He's still hanging on to that right side leg of the OTC wrestler, Swanson. Swanson gets his hips now underneath him, trying to reach back for the ankles of Nordquist to get a takedown of his own. Nordquist is still hanging on to that single leg. He's trying to elevate that up. Now he's trying to pick it up and get to his feet with that single leg. Swanson's just got his hips underneath him, not allowing Nordquist with that takedown. Yeah, we could get a stalemate here. I think neither wrestler is able to advance much as Nordquist has just got a real tight tie. And we finally get the stalemate.
Yeah, in that situation there, Nordquist looking to almost suck in that leg there to get the advantage and be able to get behind him. But Swanson doing a good job of laying out there and making it tough.
Hey, you got Swanson now on a shot on Nordquist, trying to attack a single leg takedown on Nordquist. Nordquist does a good job of reaching up and fighting that off as he was kind of had that whizzer going. Looks like both coaches were up hollering at the wrestlers, trying to get him in the right position here for that next takedown. Swanson again attacking a single leg of Nordquist. Nordquist kind of fights it off. He's got that whizzer locked in, not allowing Swanson that takedown again as Swanson was deep on a single leg as they're outside again with 26 seconds left. Still Nordquist up 3-0.
Head coach Link Steffen telling Nordquist, hey, don't give him that leg. Don't give him that leg. Stay back. Be aggressive.
Now you got Nordquist now with a single leg on Swanson, really trying to attack that. And he gets another takedown. Right at the end of the period, he scored 4 of his 5 points, and Nordquist will be up 5-0 after 2.
And that's going to be possibly the difference maker in this match. And could be conditioning, just having that extra push at the end of the period, being able to finish and score those 2 points.
Yeah, and the ZM wrestlers have been real aggressive, and that's how you score them points at the end of the period, is you just kind of muscle through some of that or endurance through it, and they push it right to the end. Now you got Nordquist in that up position. He's going to lock 2 legs in on Swanson, try to flatten out the OTC wrestler. Nordquist looks pretty comfortable up on top there as he's trying to throw a half Nelson in on the far side.
He's got to be careful if he gets too high there. Swanson trying to sneak out the back door.
And Nordquist now just kind of settling in behind Swanson, trying to control that wrist from the far side.
Now wrestling on map 1. Class A 152 from Frinzy.
Nordquist looks like he wants to try to throw a half Nelson with the legs locked in. He's got Swanson flat to the mat. He might be getting some back points here. Now he's going to turn him over. He's got a deep half. Swanson looks like he could be in danger. Oh, he got a 1 count. Now he's going to maybe get some back points. The referee has not signaled the swipes yet, as he only got 1 swipe in, and Swanson was able to fight that off. He's got both legs locked in. He's really putting pressure on Swanson there with 40 seconds left. 5-0 lead. Still no back points have been awarded. Now he's going to get some back points on Swanson. This is huge for Nordquist at this point if he can get 3. Trying to readjust himself. He couldn't pin him in that position. Still got that arm locked over the top of Swanson's head. He's going to get 3 back points. That puts it in a major decision. Now comes across with a Turk from the far side. He's going to throw him all the way across his body and get some more back points here. Trying to adjust it to tighten up the pinning combination. But Nordquist is going to dominate in the last 30 seconds here with more back points. An 11-0 win, a huge win for Nordquist.
Yeah, the scoreboard hasn't been updated yet, but it should be 11-1 win for Nordquist for Zembroda Mazeppa, and that's going to put them up 17-13 over Ottertail Central Bulldogs as we make our way into the weight class where we're going to see. I always like to see the headlocks thrown, and we're getting to those weight classes now. We're going to see more of a physical matchup, more than finesse as we get higher into the weight classes. 160 pounds is what we got up next. And, it looks like it could be a toss-up right now for Zembroda Mazeppa, who they're going to toss out there, but more than likely for O.T. Erlinson, a senior, looks to be the likely wrestler. And we've got Alex Erlinson going up against Hayden Stensland.
Now wrestling on mat 5. Class A 160.
Yeah, here's kind of where ZM starts to really put the hammers down in these upper weights. Started basically at 145. They got some really quality wrestlers coming out on the mat, and they can put the hammer down on you. So Stensland now, he's got a 6-4 record, but he's rated 8th. I don't know if that's correct on the record side either, unless he's been injured for most of the season, but both wrestlers now with no score, 1:25 in the first period.
Watching them wrestle right now, I mean, you hit that record, 6-4, and then up on the board through sections, 10-6 now finally, going up against 23-18 wrestler Erlinson. Senior versus senior. Doesn't look like he's 10-6 though. I mean, he's pretty confident walking out there.
He really is. Stensland's a tough kid. He's been around the block in the wrestling room, and another one of them seniors that ZM sends out.
Wrestling for Anoka, Caleb Jungling.
We get a minute into the first period, still no score at 160 pounds. ZM's up on the scoreboard 17-13. It looks like they're in really good position at this point with a lot of their ranked wrestlers coming up. And starting right here at 170 pounds, Hayden Boxland. Hayden Boxland will be the next wrestler after Stensland. Still no takedown now. Stensland trying to throw a headlock from his feet. Looks like he's got it locked up as they're right on the edge of the circle. Erlinson looks like he's trying to fight that off. Neither wrestler has control as they go out of bounds with 29 seconds left. No score. Both really tall wrestlers for this weight, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's not only the height, but also the reach. I mean, you've got two guys that, if you were to look at it could have been a couple of years ago. They were wrestling in that 126-pound weight class, which is how their bodies are built right now.
Yeah, you get into some real good athletes when you get into these middle to upper weights, So see a lot of action and, like you said, a lot of explosive moves. First period's going to end with no score.
Underway here in the second period, 9 seconds in, as we saw Stensland take the down position, got out,
got an escape right away. Minute 40 left in the second period. 1-0 score for Stensland at 160 pounds. Stensland now trying to get an ankle pick from Erlinson. Erlinson returns to their feet. They get separated after the front head tie. Return to that tie-up position from their feet. Ear to ear. Stensland now tried to control the head with a little snap-down move. They went outside the circle with 1:13 left. Both wrestlers now, it looked like Erlinson with an outside shot, but he was so far away, Stensland might take advantage of that. Both wrestlers now in that position to throw each other. Kind of back out of that. Stensland attacks that outside single leg, gets a takedown. That will put him up 3-0 with that takedown. Throws in that near side leg.
What's the tilt up?
Yeah, they've been really good with their leg riding, whether it's one or two legs locked in. They've been really controlling the action from that up position, ZM is. Now he's got trying to work that far side arm back, trying to get a pinning combination. Erlinson's got to get his hands out in front of him, which he's able to do. Stensland's still got that near side leg locked up. Now he's reaching underneath the legs of Erlinson, just kind of flattening him out, working across the body. Now he's going to come across the front. He's just going to maybe tilt him to his back in this position as Erlinson's trying to fight it off. We only got 5 seconds left. Stensland's looking for some back points here. Trying to turn the hips, unable to get any back points, but he'll be up on the scoreboard, 3-0.
Stensland looking pretty good right now. Both are going to be, both are up right now. And if you're Stensland, you got to keep the pedal to the metal here and really go full throttle, see if you can get them down again. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw another headlock opportunity here too, with them both tied up the way they are.
Yeah, both wrestlers still up on their feet now. We got 1:40 left. Go outside the circle once again. It looks like Stensland's headgear is kind of got pulled over the front of his face.
Class A semifinals will take place at 1 o'clock, and the consolation semifinals.
Time to buckle up and get back to the action. They got Erlinson now with an underhook. Stensland with an outside shot. Stensland's going to throw a headlock from his feet. Erlinson's going to fight that off and slip behind him for a 2-point takedown. That makes it 3-2. Erlinson's going to cut Stensland loose. That makes it 4-2 with 1:10 left. I don't know if he needed to go for that desperation headlock at that point, but he thought it was there. So,
and he might have felt that the time was right for it, and you saw the wind up. He followed through, and it just happened that Erlinson was able to kind of dip out the back door and fall down for the 2 points.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the lead, so he's still got a 1-point lead as both wrestlers are back on their feet with 45 seconds left in the third period. Erlinson has to get the takedown now with Stensland with that 4-2 advantage.
Stenzlin, good defense here is what he's going to be looking for. He can salt this one away as long as he's able to sprawl out and keep his distance and try not to throw that headlock. It's not needed right now.
That's a great point. He's just got to be safe in this position now with under 30 seconds left. Stenzlin now just with that front head tie. Erlindson's trying to push into him. They're going to caution the ZM wrestler for stalling. He's still fine if he just keeps circling and getting that time off the clock here.
Briefly had an underhook in there, puts it back in.
We got 14 seconds left, and they gave him a stalling penalty point. Erlindson with a takedown would get the win. 10 seconds left. Stenzlin's doing a good job of just kind of pushing into him. Erlindson has to do the shooting. Gets underneath Stenzlin. Stenzlin throws him to his back. Erlindson trying to get the takedown. No points were awarded.
Wrestling on that number 1.
They're going to talk about it. The referees are talking about it. I don't think he controlled him in that position. Do you, John?
No. I still think that Erlindson didn't have a hand on him. His arms were still back, but he was able to get a leg over. I don't think he's going to get 2 points here for a takedown whatsoever. It was close.
I don't think so either.
Yep, there it is.
No points were awarded, and Stenzlin's going to leave with a 4-3 decision.
Great matchup there. As ZM able to get another 3 points, team portion of the competition. We are currently looking at a score of 20-13. Zumbrota Mazeppa over Jackson County Central. And this is where it gets a lot of fun, as we've got Hayden Voxlin, the senior, coming out now for Zumbrota Mazeppa. And he's going to be facing Jace Lebo.
Now wrestling on mat 5. Class A, 170
Lebo is a senior, also 25-16 in this season.
Voxlin. And for Ottertail Central, Jace Lebo.
Both wrestlers now just trying to get some hand control here for a takedown.
Tom, this is where you were saying, where the upper weights and Zumbrota Mazeppa's hammer, so to speak, can really come in handy as they can salt this one away. They can't get too greedy about it, though. Got to concentrate on doing what they're supposed to do. But this is a good opportunity for ZM to get in some wrestling before they hopefully, fingers crossed, move on to that next round.
Exactly. Yeah, they got some wrestlers. Voxlin being the number 2 rated wrestler at 170 pounds coming out now. So this is kind of where they really take control or set the tone, and they're still trying to do that as they got that nice team lead at this point at 20-13.
Don't forget, at the conclusion of the broadcast of this match, we're going to be selecting the Goodhue County ADA Cougar or Cougars of the match. The Goodhue County ADA is proud of the accomplishments of all these Zumbrota Mazeppa students and reminds all of us to get our 3 every day of dairy. I had mine with a bowl of Cheerios this morning.
Voxlin now with a nice single leg takedown to score 2 points with that and take that 2-0 lead with 25 seconds left in the first period. Lebo now getting up to his feet. Voxlin just kind of pushes him outside the circle there with that 2-0 lead. 2 seniors going at it at 170 pounds here. Voxlin's now going to ride from the right side of Lebo, breaks him down to the mat. Riding directly behind the OTC wrestler. Trying to work that wrist from the right side now. Trying to dig that wrist out, trying to get that arm behind his back. And the first period's going to end 2-0 for Voxlin.
Tom, Voxlin looking to work that arm bar, it looked like there. Just was unable to free that arm from underneath.
He is, and Voxlin will be in the down position to start the second period. And a caution off the whistle. Lebo reaches up for Voxlin's ankle. Voxlin's able to get to his feet, feel the hands of Lebo turn into him for an escape, and that makes it 3-0. Voxlin doing a good job kind of controlling the head of Lebo in this stand-up position. Lebo finally separates himself from it. Voxlin's going to just kind of drape that left arm around the back of Lebo's neck now.
Class A.
Being able to set up that takedown, just kind of snapping the head a little bit. Boxland with another outside shot. Single leg. Lebo does a good job of fighting that off as Boxland was deep in on the shot.
Looks like Boxland lost his grip there on that single leg almost. He just couldn't control it.
Yeah, he was in real good position for that takedown and just didn't have the grip quite tight enough on that leg. Got Boxland now kind of controlling the head of Lebo. Both wrestlers are in the center of the circle. Lebo now with a shot on Boxland. Boxland just kind of chucks him down to the mat as he's working parallel to him. Now he's going to try to spin behind him for that takedown, trying to control the head of Lebo.
There it is.
From
Get
their
there.
feet. Now he wants to lock up a cradle from that position. He's going to get the 2-point takedown. Lebo isn't really in position for that cradle, but now Boxland does lock it up. Now he's got to keep him on the mat as they're right in front of the ZM coaches here. Boxland's got a cradle locked up. Lebo's trying to get up to his feet. They go outside the circle there. He had a pretty tight cradle there from that feet position too for Boxland. That makes it 5-0 with 29 seconds left in the second period.
That cradle, if he could have just rocked that back in, I think it would have been all over there.
It was that tight, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. You got Boxland now riding from the right side of Lebo. He's got that deep waist ride going, flattening Lebo out to the mat. Riding directly behind him, jumps across to the left side. 2-on-1 wrist ride now. Lebo trying to return to his feet. Boxland does a good job of just flattening him out to the mat. He's got that 5-0 lead at the end of the second period, and that's the way the second period will end. Both wrestlers will start the third period in the up position. Boxland's just got to be careful not to get in any bad position here with that 5-0 lead over Lebo. Just don't get thrown or headlocked or anything like that from this position. Both wrestlers now with that front head tied. Boxland does a good job of snapping down the head of Lebo, switches it up to a single leg, but fortunately they were outside the circle.
Does Boxland have it in him for an ankle pick?
Yeah, he's a real tall, lanky wrestler. Now he's going to shoot right off the whistle to a single leg. Now he wants to kind of tighten that up, get behind Lebo as they go outside the circle there. Just kind of sweeping move is what he had from his feet. Both wrestlers were kind of separated at that point as they went outside the circle, but we got 1:20 left in the third period. Boxland's up 5-0. Front head tie from both wrestlers. Boxland now with an outside shot again. He's trying to shoot that outside single leg and attack that outside leg for him.
Now wrestling on that one.
Now you got Boxland throwing his hips back. With Lebo with an outside shot. He wasn't really in position. Boxland's going to get a 2-point takedown to take a 7-0 lead. He's looking for that major now as he's trying to turn the hips of Lebo from that up position, potentially dangerous, as they end up right on top of the referee there.
Full head of steam is what Boxland was running out towards the edge of the mat with.
Now Boxland looks like he's going to cut him loose. He's looking for that takedown to get that major decision score. It's 7-1 with 40 seconds left. Boxland with a nice outside shot. Gets behind the OTC wrestler for 2 points. Now he's got his ankle trapped underneath him. Boxland looks like he's going for more back points here. Lebo does a good job of getting to that referee's position.
Oh, yeah, with that takedown for the best newspaper coverage of the Cougars in the state tournament. Turn to the pages of the News Record and Zumbro Shopper. And, yeah, Boxland is working it with 10 seconds here. See if he can keep him in bounds.
Yeah, Boxland does a great job here and a 9-1 win. He's just got to keep him down now to keep that major decision. Lebo was trying to get to his feet, but that ends at 9-1.
Great effort from Boxland in that one as ZM now leads the competition 24-13 as we work our way up to 182-pound Caden Steffen at a 30-3 record, heading out for ZM and going up against Kevin Tierney, I believe is the last name.
Yeah, Tierney is a senior, 15 and 18 on the season. He'll be out for OTC now. Got Steffen on a nice double leg takedown. Just elevates that up and gets that 2-point takedown 20 seconds into the first period. Steffen looks like he wants to lock up a cradle. Tierney gets off his belly up to his base. Steffen flattens him out again. Got a 2-on-1 wrist on the right side of Tierney, looking for a pinning combination. He's just trying to peel that wrist out, trying to get that arm behind the back of the OTC wrestler. Looks like Steffen just cuts him loose. It's 2-1. Steffen now controlling the head of Tierney. Both wrestlers still up on their feet. Got a minute left in the first period. Steffen's up 2-1. Steffen trying to set up that takedown, controlling the head of Tierney. Just accelerates a double leg, drives right through it. That makes it 4-1. Trying to lock up a cradle now from that top side as he comes across with a mean crossface. Steffen now just kind of settling back on that ankle of Tierney, trying to peel hard on that wrist. They really work that 2-on-1 wrist trying to get that pinning combination. Is unable to get it, and he's going to cut him loose. That will make it 4-2. Looking for another takedown with 20 seconds left is Steffen. Attacks that double leg again. The third double leg takedown. Oh! Trying to take him right to his back. He's got him on the edge of the circle. He's going to get some back points, as I believe the OTC wrestlers outside the circle. But Steffens is going to get a 3 count out of this. Now he's trying to pull him back in bounce. The period's going to end with 3 more back points. That makes it 9-2 at the end of 1 for Steffen.
Caden Steffen, number 1 ranked wrestler, coming into this match. In that last shot, Tom, I mean, he put him right on his back.
Yep, and Steffen looks like Tierney takes that down position. Steffen's going to cut him loose. You're right, it was a great move right from your feet to his back. And that was just an explosive move as he kind of controlled him on that double leg takedown to throw him right to his back. Got a minute 42. Steffen just with a little head chuck to spin behind the OTC wrestler. Now he looks like he's got that tilt move going from that position. No back points were awarded. You have to get a 2 count to get any back points awarded.
Stacking him.
Oh yeah, now he's just kind of stacking him up on that near side. Referee's going to say potentially dangerous.
Now wrestling on mat 4, 195.
It's 11-3 with a minute 19 left. Steffen's going to say, let's go from our feet again. He's probably looking for a pinning combination right off the feet again. Nope, he's just going to do that little snap down move and get another 2-point takedown. Now he's going to put on a takedown clinic. It looks like it's 13-4. Steffen's trying to load up a pinning combination from his feet as he's working that head. Instead, he spins behind him. That makes it 15-5. He's going to cut him loose again. That makes it 17-6. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with the score. They're cutting him loose so fast. It's like 19-7.
Yeah,
I might have missed a takedown.
No, I think they're about 2 points ahead here.
Okay.
From where we should be. I
didn't see that many going up on the scoreboard. Now you got Steffen just trying to work that half Nelson on the near side. He gets it from his feet. Tierney does a good job of rolling through that. Steffen's now going to try to get that Turk move on that near side as he's just reaching across that front shoulder of Tierney, trying to throw him to his back. I don't know what we got here. We got 1 point potentially dangerous, 1 point red. That was a penalty point, I think, coming across maybe the face too hard.
Yeah, he's coming across with the crossface, and he was working on trying to turn him there, and I think he didn't have an arm still. I think it was just the neck.
Yeah, and the referee awarded Tierney for a penalty point. That racks it up to 19-8 at the end of the second period for Stefan, looking for a tech fall or a fall. Stefan now controlling that knee brace on his head to adjust that up to his knee on the left knee. Now he's just going to get that little snap down, looking for that pinning combination as he tried to throw that underhook in. Gets another takedown. That'll make it 21-9. Both wrestlers return to their feet. Minute 45 left. Another takedown for Stefan. 23-10 it will be. With this next one, it will be a tech fall, but he's going to throw him right to his back. It's exactly what he needed to do. He's going to look for the fall as he's got it locked in.
There it is.
Got a fall at 4 minutes and 35 seconds for Stefan at 182 pounds.
Let's mark that one down, too, as we're looking maybe at Wrestler of the Match there, brought to you by the Goodhue County American Dairy Association. And with that decision, remember, whenever you have a building project decision to make, go to Pine Island Lumber. They want to be your lumber yard. And we had a whole mess of them, so I want to make sure we get them in for Zimbrota Mazeppa takedowns, too. For the best newspaper coverage of the Cougars in the state tournament, turn to the pages of the News Record and Zumbro Shoppers. We're up to 195 pounds, Tom.
And we got Jacob Bennett, 41-3 on the season, coming out for the Cougars.
Wyatt Thorson, 10th grader, at 29-10 for the Bulldogs of Ottertail Central.
And Bennett is ranked number 1 at this weight class as he follows up. Stefan is rated number 1.
Ottertail Central.
No score, 30 seconds into the first period here.
Jacob Bennett.
They go outside the circle. We got all kinds of action going on around us also, as it looks like the match right next to us is going to overtime. Bennett now with a nice takedown for that 2-0 lead, a minute 10 left in the first period. He's riding from the right side of Thorson. He's got him flat to the mat, trying to dig out that wrist again. Got that 2-on-1 wrist ride going on that side, trying to trap that arm underneath his back. Now he's got to be careful with that elbow, not to elevate it too much to break that and potentially dangerous. Going to try to near side tilt him. No back points were awarded as we got 40 seconds left in the first period. Bennett's still up 2-0. Bennett now just trying for that near side tilt, controlling the wrist of right on the right side of Thorson. 2-on-1 wrist right now, trying to peel that wrist back behind to get that pinning combination behind his back. Thorson kind of fights that off. Got 15 seconds left. Now he's going to just try to elevate that near side leg and try to get the hips turned on Thorson and bring him to his back.
He's got to watch picking that ankle up there.
You do, and plus bending that knee too and bringing it across. You just got to watch how you elevate that up for that pinning combination. No points were awarded. Bennett's up 2-0 as he'll start the second period in the down position.
Bennett, straight up. Gets taken back down.
Thorson does a good job of returning Bennett to the mat, but on his second attempt, he's able to get that escape. It puts him up 3-0. Bennett now controlling the head of Thorson, just snaps him down, spins behind him, 2-point takedown. Now Bennett looks like he wants to control him from his feet. It's 5-1 with the escape. Bennett looks real comfortable on his feet. Snaps the head of Thorson down. Thorson's able to back out of that. Attacks that outside single leg. Does a great job. That's where he's got, not just one combination for your takedown, but he attacks that outside leg after the snap downs and gets that takedown for a 7-1 lead.
And he is off to the side right now because of a lot of the time we've been seeing this is we've seen the wrestlers that's on top is taking that straight on approach, and then they always get cautioned for stalling. So he has been off to the side, which is good as he's trying to work in there and find that arm to work him over for a tilt of some sort here.
Yeah, and like you said, he's working so hard on the top. Actually, while you were talking, the bottom wrestler gets cautioned for stalling, so that's hard work. And like you said, not working directly behind that wrestler, and he's working off to the side for that pinning combination. Earns him a caution for stalling. He had the right arm of the OTC wrestler behind him, but he had it bent at too much of an angle, so referee breaks that for potentially dangerous. We got 40 seconds left in the second period. It's all Bennett at 7-1. Thorson now with a short little sit-out. Bennett kind of follows right behind him. Thorson again with another short little sit-out. You got to be careful not to sit there too long in this position, as Thorson really needs to spin towards him, or you could get dumped to your back with a chin drop. Or that will make it 7-2 as Thorson is able to get to his feet from that short little sit-out. With 13 seconds left, Bennett wants another takedown towards the end of the period here. He's working real hard trying to get another snap down on Thorson. He is going to spin behind him. There's that short time points again, and that makes it 9-2 at the end of 2.
Exciting matchups here, and right now, Bennett going to be in the up position right now, and with Bennett trying not to give up any sort of an escape at all. He wants to keep the pressure on and see if we can't get a turn here.
Yeah, Bennett's riding from the top now. He's got that deep waist ride, looking for that tilt move again on the near side.
Now wrestling on mat 4, 220.
He's really controlling the action in the up position. He's trying to get that 2-on-1 wrist ride. Thorson does a good job of keeping his hands out in front of himself. Bennett now is looking for a major decision with a 9-2 lead. Bennett's working on the right side, just tucks right behind Thorson. It looks like he wants to just kind of drop him to his back. Thorson's able to get outside the circle with a minute 21 left. They got Thorson in that down position now. Bennett's looking for that major decision. He's got a 7-point differential with a 9-2 lead. Bennett with a mean crossface coming across the top.
Yeah, that was...
Now he's looking for that near side tilt again. Looks like Thorson's in position. He had a 1 swipe. Now he's going to get some back points as he got a 2 count out of it. Should get 2 back points here as he breaks the hold.
Puts him into major decision territory here.
Yeah, that was wasn't like he had Thorson in danger of pinning him, but he got his 2 back points with the tilt. Seen a lot more of that in high school. Just the tilts are getting you back points and getting you comfortable on the scoreboard is what it's doing. He's up 11-2 now with under 30 seconds left. Bennett's still working hard on that right side. He's got what they call a bone arrow with that leg dip, trying to turn the hips of the OTC wrestler. Now he comes across, kind of reaching across for that far shoulder, trying to control that back leg.
He's almost got it here.
He does, and we're at short time here as Thorson's trying to fight that off. And Bennett's going to leave with 11-2 decision at 195 pounds.
Bennett get another 4 points for his team as Symbertum is up and now up 34-13 as we head into the 220-pound weight class. And I'm not necessarily sure who we're going to see at 220 here. I mean, we could see Jarrett Hagelin. They might.
Yep, you're going to see Hagelin as he's coming out on the mat here.
And Hagelin is going to be going up against Ramon Lopez-Moen.
Lopez-Moen is 11-17 on the season. He is a senior, as Hagelin is also a senior for the Cougars. Hagelin is rated number 1 at 220 pounds. It's kind of nice to end your team with 3 ranked wrestlers rated number 1, let alone being ranked. They're rated number 1, which is awesome.
Coach Steffen probably feels pretty good about that when he marches out there.
Yeah, well, like we had talked, if they keep it close up to like 145, it's going to be hard to beat these guys. So Hagelin now trying to throw Lopez Moen to his back.
Bring him back in.
No points were even awarded for a takedown there, as Moen does a good job of fighting that off. Both wrestlers up on their feet again. Hagelin just kind of pushing into Lopez Moen. Trying to control the head now of Lopez Moen, trying to snap him down. Both wrestlers just really kind of pushing into each other with no advantage here with 50 seconds left in the first period. Still no score.
Hagelin almost looks like he's sizing up Lopez Moen here from a perspective of what he wants to do. Because we've seen the last two matches really kind of be takedown clinics towards the end there, and Lopez Moen really not necessarily given up a whole lot when it comes to takedowns so far in the match.
You're exactly right. It looks like he's just kind of stalking him, trying to set him up for maybe a pinning combination right off the feet is what he's maybe looking for. But both wrestlers now with that front head tie. 20 seconds left in the first period. No points have been scored yet.
Lopez Moen is right on the fence there of maybe even being cautioned by him just kind of staying in one place, allowing Hagelin to dictate the terms out there.
Yep, and the first period will end up at zeros at the end of the period. Now is when you're going to see some action, get one of them in the down position, see what we can do. Neither wrestler is able to score from their feet. Now Lopez Moen cuts him loose. So we're back to our feet. So 1-0 lead for Hagelin.
Just as we said it, cuts him loose.
I thought maybe he'd try to ride him at least for a little while in that up position, but obviously Lopez Moen feels more comfortable from his feet.
And you'd think if you were going to ride him out, I mean, you're going to be wearing out that person on bottom, no matter who it is, and you're going to hopefully be saving some energy. So when you do get back to your feet, you can make that first move.
Yeah, and there was no chance of that as he cut him loose right away. So got 1:20 left. Hagelin with that 1-0 lead. Maybe Hagelin is going to shoot some type of takedown here. Both wrestlers just with the front head tie. They're right in the center of the circle, too. Sometimes at this weight, you can shoot a takedown. You might need the whole mat.
Hagelin looks to be almost setting up almost like a pop under here. He's playing with this elbow here. It looks to be the left elbow of Lopez Moen, and he could almost pop and go under.
Yeah, that's a great point. Is he's trying to kind of control the elbow and just do that little quick duck under or pop under move, but Lopez is able to get his hips underneath him or stay tight to the head as both wrestlers with that front head tie. Now they're going to caution Lopez Moen for stalling with 30 seconds left in the second period. Hagelin now trying to snap him down again from that up position. Now he's got an underhook from that far side. Lopez Moen now tight around the head of Hagelin.
The headlock is out for Lopez Moen. He just doesn't have the length of arms in order to lock that in on Hagelin. So
no, and he really hasn't attempted it either, as looks like he's kind of comfortable now controlling the wrist of Hagelin in that up position. But the second period's going to end up at 1-0. Lopez's Moen decision, and he chooses both wrestlers up. Neither wrestler's been able to get that takedown, but Hagelin's going to look for the first one. I don't think Lopez Moen has really shot at all, has he?
No, Lopez Moen hasn't shot. Hagelin hasn't shot either, although with Hagelin, I don't think we're going to see a shot more say. I think we're actually probably going to see him either bring him down from the head. Almost had something there to bring him down as he was almost behind him there on a go-around almost from what Lopez Moen tried to do.
Lopez Moen almost tried to throw some type of a headlock, but it was not a real aggressive move, so they went outside the circle now with 1:25 left. Both wrestlers just kind of hand fighting in the center. Now you got Hagelin trying to control the head, shoots a double leg takedown, is going to accelerate through it and get that 2-point takedown. That makes it 3-0.
He's bringing him back in too, slowly bringing him back onto the mat here as he...
Lopez Moen is just kind of on the edge of the circle. The referee's going to... He's going to caution Hagelin for stalling. Looks over at the coaches, Mark Creer and Link Steffens, and Link says, put them back on their feet. So that will make it 3-1. So he wants to see some action, I think, out of Hagelin here in the last minute. Try to get another takedown out of him. Hagelin's pushing Lopez Moen right out of the center circle. Now we're going to get a 1-point stalling on Lopez Moen. That makes it 4-1 for Hagelin. As Hagelin's starting to control Moen from their feet. Both wrestlers still got that front head tie going, trying to get some hand control as we're at 30 seconds in the third period. 4-1 lead for Jared Hagelin at 220 pounds.
Now wrestling at 285. Black Duck.
Now Hagelin on a nice double leg shot. Drives him right into the seat.
Coach got out of the way. Lopez Moen fell right into the coach's seat, but they're back up right in the middle here. 15 seconds. Tom, this is probably one of those matches where we might look back later today and say, all right, we know Hagelin's still got some energy in him, just based on the earlier match where it was a lot of that pushing and pulling, but not a lot of
action, really.
Yeah.
Not a lot of scoring, but Hagelin's going to win the match 4-1 for the Cougars. That puts them up 37-13.
And we've got the heavyweights here coming out here. 285. Heading out onto the mat right now for OTC is going to be R.J. Ayler. And for ZM, we've got Luke Dolan.
Aylert is a senior for OTC. He is 25-11 on the season. And the Cougars will bring out Dolan. And Dolan is 8-13 on the season, another senior for the Cougars.
Dolan's given up some weight, though, here in this match, as he's listed right around 220.
Yeah, Aylert is a big heavyweight here, as trying to control the head now of Dolan at the heavyweight division. No points have been scored yet, as we're 1:15 left in the first period.
Now wrestling on mat 5, Class A.
ZM up on the scoreboard 37-13, as they'll be advancing to the next round against Tracy, Milroy, Battleton, Westbrook, Walnut Grove.
Wow. TMB, we'll call it. How's that sound?
There you go, TMB.
And that's going to be coming up at 1 o'clock, I believe, that match.
No, that's coming up, I think, after this.
Is it at 11? Okay.
Yep. They're doing a back-to-back here.
Or as soon as they can get going, I guess, as we're getting closer to the 11 o'clock hour.
We got Allard now just kind of pushes Dalen out of bounds. As there's still no score with 38 seconds left in the first period. We're at the heavyweights. Heavyweights, sometimes it's really hard to get that shot because of the size of the opponent, so either got to use your speed or your muscle here at this division, especially with the size advantage. Hillard now with an underhook on Dolan from the right side, trying to control the head of Dolan. Hillard switches that up. He's got an underhook on the left side now on Dolan, trying to trip Dolan to the mat. Dolan does a good job of keeping his feet. With 3 seconds left in the first period, and first period is going to end at zeros.
Well, here we go. We're going to see some action here. Is Ahlert's going to be in the down position, Tom, and it's going to be a tough task here for Dahlin, I think, to keep him there.
It is. Dahlin's undersized now. Ahlert trying to get that escape. Dahlin's still hanging on to the leg of Ahlert. Ahlert's going to use his size, though, and looks like he's trying to get that first takedown, trying to trap the arm of Dahlin underneath him. He's going to throw Dahlin to his back now. We've got a fall coming here for Ahlert at 1:23 to end the duel.
19:37 is going to be the final score here. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we will come back with our recap and our Zumbrota Mazeppa wrestlers of the match. 2-minute break right here on KDHL, the Mighty 920.
Moving on to the semifinals in Class A. Zumbrota Mazeppa.
The Zumbrota VFW is proud to support the youth of the area and invite you to stop by.
The 88 Cougar, and I have to go with John Poulin at 120 pounds. He lost the match 3-0, I believe was the final score there. But that right there could have been way worse because he was going up against a guy, I think, with one loss on the record in Hendricks. So I definitely want to give him one of the wrestlers of the match.
That's true. Down in them lower weights, we had talked about team wrestling, not giving up the big, team points right there. And they had actually lost 2 matches. One at 113 and one at 120, and they only gave up 6 points, and then they come back and they get all them points back with Tupper with a fall at 145, so that evens that out. And like you said, just don't give up the big points. And besides that, they're wrestling wrestlers with over 30 wins, just giving up 3 team points. That's huge. That's a good call.
It was an absolutely wonderful match as Zumbrota Mazeppa does come out on top here, 37-19, the final score. Remember, we've got more wrestling coverage coming up here on KDHL. The next time ZM wrestles is going to be at 1 o'clock. We're going to take another 2-minute break and wrap things up here from the XL Energy Center. Tom Weeks, we just wrapped up Zumbrota Mazeppa as they advance 37-19 over Jackson County, the Bulldogs there. And Tom, I got to say, for my limited viewing pleasure, what I've seen here today, ZM's going to be a tough team to tangle with, especially as you mentioned earlier in those upper weights, 140 on. So it's looking good. We know they're going to be going up against. I think it was a mouthful, right? What we had there.
Yeah, Tracy, Milroy, Ballatin, Westbrook, Walnut Grove.
They beat Kenyon Wanamingo earlier on, so we'll get to that. That's going to be our wrestling coverage for at least Tom Weeks and myself. Gordy Kosfeld will be broadcasting that next match. I want to thank you for tuning on in. Stay up to date all the time at KDHLradio.com, or even better yet, tap that app. Download the KDHL Radio app. Find out more at KDHLradio.com/app.